What time you want to meet?
You mean 10 years from now?
Yeah.
Let's meet in the morning so we can make a day of it.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the ensembles that we came to appreciate only after the actors became more successful.
Yeah, well, listen, you ought to ditch the 2 geeks you're in the car with now and get in with us, but that's all right. We'll worry about that later.
Number 10, Pretty in Pink.
What?
The record.
Oh, the record.
Yeah, I thought it was a little too,
Too hip, maybe?
yeah, a little too hip.
Among John Hughes' finest films is Pretty in Pink, starring Molly Ringwald after her success in The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles. Andrew McCarthy appears as the rich kid who falls for her, and John Cryer is her hopelessly devoted friend. Cryer is among the standouts of the cast as the lovable Ducky, along with Ringwald delivering one of her best performances.
So when you get your heart splattered all over hell and you're feeling really low and dirty, don't look to me to help pump you back up, cause maybe for the first time in your life I won't be there.
Both the future 2.5 Men star and McCarthy play off Ringwald well in career-making turns. There's also the evil and charismatic energy of James Spader during his early days. You can argue which Hughes film is the greatest, but there's no debating the power of this cast all these years later.
Doesn't matter, does it?
You told me you couldn't believe in somebody who didn't believe in you. I believed in you. Always believed in you.
Number 9, Clueless. Adapting Jane Austen for the 1990s, Clueless brings out the charm and humor of every cast member. Many of these actors received a major step up in their burgeoning careers. Alicia Silverstone commands the screen as Cher Horowitz, becoming an icon before the movie is even over.
Just like these nervous creatures that jump and slobber all over you. Ew! Get off of me! Ugh, as if!
She also stars alongside the bubbly work of Brittany Murphy and the underrated Donald Faison before Scrubs. Paul Rudd shows up in his first film role ever, proving that he had an instant ability to steal scenes.
I'm just curious, how many hours a day do you spend grooming yourself?
Some people are not lucky enough to be as naturally adorable as you are.
Stop it, you're making me blush.
We haven't finished naming the other highlights from the cast, including Breckin Meyer, Stacey Dash, and Elisa Donovan. While there have been many high school movies since, this one still stands as a cultural phenomenon partly because of the elite cast.
Girls, she's about to throw the bouquet. Oh, come on!
Look, we got a pool going to see whose girl gets a bouquet. It's up to $200.
It's in the bag.
Number 8, The Magnificent Seven. After winning an Oscar, Yul Brynner took the lead in this Western as arguably the biggest star of the film. His character, Chris Adams, recruits a group of gunfighters to defend a Mexican village.
I'm a friend of Harry Lux. He tells me you're broke.
I'm doing this because I'm an eccentric millionaire.
There's a job for 6 men watching over a village south of the border.
These men are played by the likes of Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson, and James Coburn. Between the 3 of them, they represented some of the coolest screen presences of the next 2 decades. Each of them showed off their action skills before they were all considered leading men.
You see them?
They're too far back in the trees. Chris?
Yeah.
We're trying to make it up in those rocks. We'll cover you.
Eli Wallach was more established by this time playing the villain, but he was still years away from his immortal work in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Looking back, it's amazing that any one of these guys was on the squad.
Think of the odds. Harry, nobody's asking you to go back.
Ride on, Harry. It's all right.
Number 7, Trainspotting.
All I am trying to do, Mark, is to help you understand that the name of the rose is merely a blip on an otherwise uninterrupted downward trajectory.
Trainspotting treads the line between comedy and drama with precision. It also has an all-star cast that juggles Irvine Welsh's material with their own electric performances. Future Star Wars actor Ewan McGregor plays Renton in an iconic role, while his friends are played by talented performers such as Robert Carlyle and Johnny Lee Miller.
It's fresh air! Look, Tommy, we know you're getting a hard time off Lizzie, but there's really no need to take it out on us.
Doesn't it make you proud to be Scottish?
With stellar supporting work from Ewan Bremner and Kelly MacDonald, the best of Scotland fills out the cast with their energetic and funny presence. Many of them have since found dynamic parts in everything from Oscar-winning films to animated features. Directed by Danny Boyle, this film retains all of its power because of the genius casting.
And just for a moment it felt really great. Like we were all in it together, like friends, like it meant something. A moment like that, it can touch you deep inside, but it doesn't last long.
Number 6, School Ties.
So you know you're the very first ringer St. Matt's ever hired.
Hey, Dylan.
No, he is. That's something of an honor. Aren't you, Honor Green?
Well, I haven't really thought about it.
If you haven't seen this early 1990s drama, you're missing out on a pointed drama about hatred and anti-Semitism. The film features a cast of young actors that were destined for greatness. Brendan Fraser stars as David Green, a Jewish teenager struggling against the narrow-minded views of his classmates. The other students include characters played by Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Chris O'Donnell, and Cole Hauser. With future Oscar winners among the cast, School Ties assembled leading men who would leave the decade as bona fide stars. Fraser and Damon in particular reveal their dramatic chops long before they were nominated for awards.
I'm begging you. Look, I'm sorry. I was a prick, okay? I was a prejudiced prick. I know that.
This doesn't have anything to do with that. Just confess.
Number 5, Dazed and Confused.
All right. Hey, man, you still driving into Houston in the morning to get those Aerosmith tickets?
Oh, you damn right. Evening, ladies.
Richard Linklater's third film is arguably one of the best of the 1990s, but it's also remembered for its impressive cast. The filmmakers found newer actors that could pull off the 1970s setting and play natural performances. Matthew McConaughey is a standout, playing the poetic and laid-back Wooderson.
I get older, they stay the same age.
There's also Parker Posey and Joey Lauren Adams as the popular girls willing to humiliate the underclassmen. Even Resident Evil star Mila Jovovich appears here, next to other future stars. Linklater can weave through the characters with a delicate touch, letting the performers deliver in small scenes that prove they've been well chosen.
I gotta get going. Me and my loser friends, you know, we gotta go get Aerosmith tickets. Top priority of the summer.
Number 4, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. In the 1980s, Fast Times at Ridgemont High served as one of the strongest teen comedies. The film also boasts an enviable cast of all kinds of varied performers. Most famously, Sean Penn plays the stoner Jeff Spicoli, long before his days as a brooding lead actor.
Sorry I'm late, it's just like this new schedule's totally confusing. Yeah, I know that, dude.
Mr. Spicoli.
That's the name they gave me.
There's also Jennifer Jason Leigh in an early role as she learns the highs and lows of relationships. Forrest Whitaker, Judge Reinhold, and Phoebe Cates also make memorable appearances here.
Hi, Brad. You know how cute I always thought you were.
We'd also be remiss not to point out the acting debut of cinematic heavyweight Nicolas Cage. All of these exciting performers converge for a high school movie full of hilarious hijinks and iconic set pieces.
When you get out there, do you ever fear for your life?
Well, Sue, I'll tell you, surfing's not a sport. It's a way of life, no hobby. It's a way of looking at that wave and saying, hey, bud, let's party.
Number 3, Wet Hot American Summer. Assembling some newcomers and members of the state comedy troupe, Wet Hot American Summer parodies summer camp comedies.
My journal. Write my thoughts in it every day.
Oh, you mean a journal?
Yeah, whatever. Guess I'm not all smart like you.
The critics and box office numbers failed to recognize the amount of talent on display. Among the many success stories to come out of this movie, Bradley Cooper started his film career in this cult classic.
I may regret saying this, but how dare you usurp my authority as producer, director/choreographer of this talent show?
Amy Poehler, Elizabeth Banks, and others also starred in promising roles before joining the upper echelon of Hollywood. Over the next decade, the movie developed a following that eventually led to 2 Netflix series. Bringing together some great performers, this project managed to be a launchpad for comedy legends.
I'm really gonna miss this place.
Me too.
Hey, let's all promise that in 10 years from today, we'll meet again, and we'll see what kind of people we've blossomed into.
Number 2, American Graffiti. Before he created Star Wars, George Lucas directed an acclaimed comedy about teenagers contemplating their future. This look into 1960s car culture also includes several actors on the cusp of greatness.
I can't believe it. I don't know what to say. I'll love and protect this car until death do us part.
Ron Howard was arguably the most well-known name in the cast, but he'd mainly worked on television up to that point. Richard Dreyfuss had only acted in smaller parts and absolutely shined here in his first major screen role.
How do you know me? It's not important. It's important! It's important to me. You're the most beautiful, exciting thing I've ever seen in my life, and I don't know anything about you.
Other key actors, such as Cindy Williams, would go on to be a TV star, while Charles Martin Smith would work with Brian De Palma. The most famous of them all is a fresh-faced Harrison Ford as a mean driver.
Hey, I like the color of your car there, man. What's that supposed to be? Sort of a cross between piss yellow and puke green, ain't it?
Altogether, these artists create a lived-in atmosphere that remains timeless.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Outsiders. In order to film this adaptation of the classic novel, director Francis Ford Coppola needed a huge cast of young actors. Most of the primary speaking roles went on to become the biggest stars of their era.
Look at your tough hair. Boy. Daddy, I'm sorry. I thought we lost you like we did Mom and Dad.
These include Ralph Macchio, Matt Dillon, Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, and Diane Lane. We didn't even mention the likes of Patrick Swayze and the most successful of them all, Tom Cruise.
Yeah? And what are you doing walking by your lonesome on the street, huh?
None of your business, Marty.
What do you mean none of my business? It is my business. Look at my nose.
Portraying S.E. Hinton's characters with skill and natural talent, the group really comes together as an engaging ensemble. It's incredible to know that most of them were only beginning their careers. Coppola's vision not only did justice to the book, it allowed for the next great generation of artists to emerge.
There's still lots of good in the world. Tell Dally I don't think he knows. Your buddy, Johnny.
Did we forget another movie with an impeccable cast? Let us know in the comments.
Let's do it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.